Hello, guys. Welcome to Microsoft Excel spreadsheets for medical assistants. Today, we're going to be going over how to utilize your book and how to use your book to help you answer the problems. I'm going to do the first file so you can get an idea how to use Excel. And then I'm also going to post another video right now to show you and expand your mind to the cool uses that all the resources that Excel has in that program. Well, follow me along, guys. First of all, I hope you can see from the camera. I know it's kind of hard doing several things at once, but in your books, on the side of them, they're color coded by sections. You can see a like darker green, light blue, and so on, red, purple, and so on. I want you to look for towards the middle. You have like a green section of your book, and that's where you're gonna have to open it up, and that's the only pages we're really going to cover for this class. That's the section that you're going to need for Microsoft Excel. Don't throw your books. You're also going to need the other blue section for when you take the course of Microsoft Word. But at the moment, we need it for Excel. All right, guys? Some of you guys probably already took it. Well, it's the same book. Barely taking it, save it. All right, guys? So open it up, and I want you to go to page 3. Excel. Excel 4. Once you open it up, the book's kind of weird, but that's why I wanted to do this lesson first together. I wish we were in the class setting. I could show you exactly what I'm talking about. Well, let's use the resources and let's use the online skills now. So, okay, if you follow along and you open up your SU account, you could see under week 1, you're going to have a file called EX1-1. You're going to have some different files. I'll open them up right now so you're able to do your homework assignment. When you click on it, first of all, make sure your computer, your laptop, whatever device you're using has Microsoft Office installed on it. And if in case it doesn't, well, you always have Microsoft Office 365 online. You guys as students will have access to that. Okay, so it's opening up. Be patient, guys. And try to get a feel of what that Excel screen is about. So for example, we could analyze that on the top section, you have file, home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, and all of that. Those are called your tabs. Before you even get started, you're gonna notice that you have this yellow white bar in between, that it has the little button called enable editing. You're going to have to click on it, guys. That's going to be the first step before you get started on working on any files and anything you have to do. Once you do that, it will allow you to make changes and modifications to the file we're going to be working with. Another quick tip, whatever you click on, guys, if you're using your desktop, etc., it's being downloaded on the downloads folder. Take in mind, because when we complete it, when we finish, we're going to have to upload it. To get away of that, I'll show you right now also in the video. We could do a save as and save it on the desktop or somewhere else where it would be easier just to upload for you guys. All right, cool. So now what I was talking about, you have your file, your home, your insert, page layout, all of that is called tabs within the ribbon. Yes, like a ribbon. That's the Microsoft Office ribbon that is full of the resources and tools and commands that it's offering, in this case in Microsoft Office for Excel. Many of these tools will follow along in PowerPoint and Word and Access. You could use them in the different programs. Yeah, you could. All right, so once you're in there, guys, in Excel, you're gonna notice you have letters on the top, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the alphabet, and then they start repeating. I could show you really fast. They could go all the way to XFD. I'll show you other tricks how to do that. That's the name of the column in Excel. So up and down vertically, those are your columns. And then you have on the left side, you have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 1,048,576. Those would be considered your rows. So Excel, guys, it's enormous. Trust me, it's over 40 million pages long worth of information if you were to print it out. Don't do it, but trust me, it would be. Okay, so once you're in Excel, the intersection of that column with that row is called the cell. All right, just a quick basics. All right, so let's get started. reading in the book and following along so you could see what I'm talking about. It says, start Excel. You really didn't have to open up Excel. We just went directly to your SU account and you click on the file that it was prompting you. It says in step 2 of your book. In the open dialog box, navigate to the etc. It says click on ex1-1xlxs. That's basically the file they want you to open. So when you read your book, that's where you're going to click on it and you'll be able to open up that file. All right, so now in step 3, it says click on the File tab and do a Save As. They want you to save it with that particular name. So where you're going to save it, I would recommend clicking Save As, of course, because you're saving the different name, the different location. And right here, it says EX-11. Well, put whatever name they want you to put in this case. So EX1 hyphen project leader payroll calculator. All right. And then might as well, I know it's not saying to do that in the book, but here I will recommend, guys, save it on the desktop. That way it would be easier to navigate, to find it. It'll just have an easier time doing it. So maybe you want to do a browse, a new folder, you have your documents there, search wherever you want to put it. So you have the name, and now in this case, I'm just going to put it on the desktop for now, so we have better access right now to when we need to save our files. Or documents, wherever you want to put it that you know you will have access to it when you need it. Right, so once you find your desktop folder, just put it in there, and I'm going to click Save. Awesome. All right, so now basically you did step 1 through 4 already. That's all they wanted you to do. On step 4 in the book, they really just want you to identify the formula bar, which is right here in this section. The name box, it's right here. That's identifying what cell is in the moment. So if I was to click somewhere else, you notice there's going to be like a green shading around that cell. That's the identify the cell you would be working in that precise moment. In the name box, now it says F6, which is intersection of the column with the intersection of the row where they meet. The worksheet window, everything you're working with. So they just want you to find and navigate yourself through it. So in step 5, they want you to click on cell A4. So literally just click on it. That's all it shows. You'll see how the name box now is showing you that you're in that particular cell. On step 6 on the book, they want you to click on cell B5. So let's click on it. So on B5, we notice that that's a number versus a formula. Why? Because in the formula bar, you could see the number 40 written, and you could scroll down and so on. You can see how the numbers are shown. But if I was to click, for example, on E5, you see it doesn't say the number 670. It shows an equation, a formula. It shows equals B5 asterisk D5. We'll get into that and showing you what that means. But I want you to identify the difference between clicking on B5, how the formula shows 40, versus clicking on E5, where it shows a formula. Cool? That's all it is. And going back to the book, they want you to select from B5 to B14. You click with your mouse, and then you just drag down all the way to B14. Make sure you don't do this mistake, guys. Many times students click on that lower right-hand corner of the cell, and then they highlight it, and they think they're selecting, and look at what happened. You just filled or copied everything. Now it shows 40, 40, 40, and so on. But there's a cool button in Excel. It would be your BFF called undo. It's the arrow over here or the shortcut Control Z. So if you notice you did something weird, don't close it and start over again. Just press undo and say, oops, never mind. I don't know what I did. And if you turn the page, it's just showing you a screenshot of the stuff you were doing and what things are located. That's it. So following along, guys, it's an easy chapter, but I still wanted to show a video how to read the book and how to do the first file together, and then waiting for you guys, expecting you guys to do the other files. And I'll show you right now towards the end of the video. Turn the page. Now it should be on Excel 6. It says click on A5. See, I'm getting ahead right now, and that's how it's showing you a formula versus a value that we had right now on B5. If we click on F5 as well, we could see that it's also a formula versus just a numeric value. Cool. That's just what that page wanted you to identify. What is the difference between a number that you write in versus a formula or an equation that would be created? And that's it. That's all you have to do. And towards the bottom of Excel 7, you will see how different equations, different symbols, just like in a calculator, represent what you want to do. If you want to add, if you want to subtract, if you want to multiply. But we'll get more into that when we get to Module 2. Turn the page. It should be on Excel 8. And here it says click cell A15. So remember, you go to the column and then the number of the row, and that's the intersection, that's the active cell that you want to go to. In A15, they want you to click on the formula bar. Sometimes the book makes it a little bit harder for you guys, but if you wanted to, this is the formula bar. Once you click on it, you'll notice the cursor will be activated in there, and then you would start typing. Did you really have to do that? No. On A15, you could have just started typing what step 2 wanted you to write, which is total. Sorry, let me get water, guys. So once you click on it, you have two options. Either you press enter to accept it, or right here in the same formula bar, you will see three options. An X to cancel what you just did, a check mark to press like the enter, and the FX when we create more complicated functions and formulas. So either you press enter or you click on it. Don't get used to clicking outside of the cell, because when you're doing formulas, that's like a no. Don't do that. Either press enter or click on the check mark. Cool? All right. Now step 3. They want you to go to B15. What do you think with that label? That's a label on A15. We just wrote totals. What do you think the label A15 totals wants you to do on cell B15? Which was interactive, that I was waiting for your answer, but I'm assuming you're saying it out loud, just like in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. No, just kidding, guys. So on B15, we have to activate and show the totals, right? So let's do our first formula. If you notice in the Home tab, towards the right side, there's like this weird E sigma sign. That one, if you click on it, by default, it will give you the sum. If you click on the pull down arrow, it will give you different pull down arrows options to get the sum, the average, a formula to count them, to obtain the max, a min, and so on. In this case, well, just click on the sum, and Excel did something cool. It put the equal sign. Whenever Excel wants to do a formula, it starts with an equal sign. It wrote the word sum, followed by a parenthesis, and then it's selecting a range of cells, which is B5 all the way to B14. The colon means 2. It didn't separate. It didn't say, oh, just add B5 and B14. It said add from cell B5 all the way to B14, which has B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11, B12, B13, B14. Cool? What do you do? Nothing. Just press enter, and cool. That's how your answer will be shown. Now, the sum total of that column is 378. You're like, I don't know, I'm not good in math. That's the beauty of this. Excel is. It's a perfect machine, a perfect program that will make sure that you did your stuff right. The only human error here is that you made a mistake when you were inputting the numbers, the labels, the values. But other than that, the formula is perfect. The other option that you could do to mess it up is that you don't select the right cells that should be included in the formula. Other than that, trust me, Excel is a beauty. It's really simple and easy to use. Cool? You see where I almost finished with this page. They want you to go to C13 now. On C13, they want you to type the value 6. So at the moment, you have the value 5. Either you just type above it and it will replace whatever it had. That's one option. You click on the formula bar and replace it for the number. That's another option. Oops, sorry. But the easiest way, just type above it and you can replace that number really fast. On C18, let's click on it. They want you to type in the label average gross pay. So I think it's easier just to start typing it in. Average gross pay. And that's it. You press enter or the check mark. Now on step 8 on your book, they want you to go to B15. All right, so we'll click on it. So on the B15, if you notice, we also should get the totals of column C, the totals of column D, the totals of column E, the totals of column F, and why not even the totals of column G? It's going to have values sooner or later. So can we grab that formula that we just did and copy it all the way to the column G section? Yes, really simple. Now remember right now I told you somebody could have done this as a mistake. Now we want to do it. When you hover on the cell, in this case B15, and you put your mouse or the mouse pointer above the lower right hand corner of it, you notice how it changes to a plus sign versus the different shapes. So once it's there, you click on it, you drag, 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 all the way to when you get to G15, you let go. And really simple, you just did the formulas of the auto sum really fast. That's cool. Even though we make changes and everything, the changes will be updated automatically. It's cool, guys, right? You never know, might have a power shortage, outage, etc. So get in the habit of clicking save once in a while. Every section, every page, everything you do. You never know. All right, just do it, guys. Turn the page. On the other page is just giving you a screenshot of everything you did and how it should be looking. And we're in the same track. Turn the page. They want you to edit some cell entries. They want you to go back to A5. So remember, you click on it. And right now it says, it reads as Brooker Pieter. How many Pieters do you guys know? I don't think that many. So if you notice, I think they made a mistake, right? So the goal here, we want to get rid of or delete Peter and take away the I that shouldn't be there, guys. It says click on cell A5, then click to the right of the P in the formula bar. So we're to the right of it. And here, guys, as long as you put the cursor in the right section, oops, either you press backspace or delete. I hope you know the difference. If my cursor's right there, I could press the delete key and it works. If my cursor was in between the I and the E, I could press backspace and it works. That's basically what the book wanted you to do in that particular section. Once you correct it, it's better to press enter. You see, in that case, we didn't just grab it and we press backspace or delete, because if we do so, it's going to delete the whole name. So here we make sure either we double click to activate the cursor or use a formula bar, which is really simple, and then you know the difference if either backspace or the delete, and press your enter once you correct that option. Cool. Now in step 3, they want you to click on B6. B6 at the moment says 35, and they wanted to read 38. So either you erase the whole number and type it above, use a formula bar, delete the number that you need to correct, do whatever you guys have to do, but make sure you follow the instruction. Cool, that's it. Step 5, click cell A9. So we go to A9, and Juan, they want to get rid of the word Juan. He changed his name, whatever the reason, and now he wants to be called Javier. So we could use the formula bar, we could double click on Juan and change it for Javier. Cool, enter. That's what they wanted you to do in that particular section. They want you to click on C12. If you do a double click, that really fast activates the cursor. And once you're in there, we could either press delete, backspace, and so on, and change it in this case for a 4. Like, that was too much work. Yes, I'm with you guys. I would have just gone to C12. I'm there. I would have just typed a 4 and automatically would have replaced the previous number and replaced it for that one. You do what you have to do, guys. It's not like you have to follow the book precisely. It's that you know how to use Excel and that you could use it on your real life situations. Cool? All right, turn the page. Yes, all of this, it's all everything like the module 1, what you have to know about, so you'll be able to do the correct files for this section. So now we should be on page 12. We're almost done, guys. Don't worry. They want you to go to G5. And then on G5, they want us to create a formula. Well, it shows on step 2. type equal, click cell E5, press the plus sign, and so on. But let's analyze it. Just by reading the label gross pay, we notice column B or B5 represents the hours that person works. Column C or C5 represents how many overtime hours that person had, employee. Column D or D5 shows you how much they get paid per in the hourly rate. E5 represents how much they get paid in a regular base, up to 40 hours. F5 represents how much they're getting paid in the overtime rate. So gross pay, how much money are they going to take home? After taxes, of course. Before taxes, sorry. So here, we want to create our formula. We press the equal sign, and then we just click on the cell. Yes, that's simple. You don't have to type it up, guys. Click on it. You press your plus sign, and then we click on the other cell, and automatically shows F5, and we did exactly what the book wanted you to do. You created your first function, your first formula. You press the equal to make sure Excel is going to get ready to start recording or doing a formula. You click on the cell that needs to be added, subtracted, multiplied, divided, whatever you're doing. And then you press the math operator symbol, plus, minus, etc. And then you click on the other cell. Once you complete it, you press enter. You see what I was telling you earlier today, that if you click outside to get out of it, then you notice how it changed the cell location? Don't do that. So that's why either you press a check mark or you press enter to make sure that formula has been saved or activated or given. So you notice G5 doesn't say the formula. It reads the value, the number, based out of those numbers. Cool. That's the beauty of this program. It's really neat to use, guys. Trust me, you're going to love it at the end of this term, I hope. All right. So on F5, they want us to go to F5. And right now, at the moment, the formula reads C5, which is the overtime hours, asterisk means times, parentheses, times 2, times D5. All right, the parentheses in this formula, it's obsolete. It really didn't matter. It's still going to multiply. The only good thing to remember here in formulas in Excel, your PEMDAS. Yes, remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, that you gotta do parentheses first, exponents, multiplication or division, whichever one comes first, and then at the end you add or subtract. In this formula, it's just multiplying, so the parentheses really is obsolete. Well, going back to the book, they want you to add a 0.5. Why? I don't know. He's the owner, whatever. He wants to get paid a little bit extra. It was a Sunday. I don't know. So we put the cursor next to the 2, and then we add 0.5. So the employee will get paid 2.5, 2.5 in the overtime rate. Once we press enter, you notice G5 at the moment it's reading 804. But once we press enter, it should read a little bit more because he's getting paid more. Cool. And it did. If you notice, the change has been updated automatically. It's not like, oh, I got to erase my formula I already did. No, Excel will take care of that. Just like that, guys. Turn your page on your book. If you don't believe what you've been doing, look at the screenshots of the other page and you'll see that you're following along and everything looks good and neat. We're almost done, guys. On 14, step 1, or again, what I said, click save just in case. All right, step 1, click on the View tab. So you notice we have home, insert, page layout, all of that. This is what they refer to. So let's go to the View tab. And they want you to click on the page layout button. You see right here we have normal, page break, page layout, and all those different options. So we click page layout. Be patient with it. It's getting there. What does that view remind you of? Me, personally, Microsoft Word. Why? Because you have access to your margins, the top margin, left margin, right margin, bottom margin of your view that you're working with, separated like in the pages view. And this is also a neat way to activate your headers in Microsoft Excel, a quick way. And if you scroll down, well, you activate the footer section of it. Well, you got to scroll down a little bit more. Getting there. And that's where you have your footers of your Microsoft Excel page in case you had to. Okay, so we're there. They want you to move the pointer over the header without clicking, just so you can see the three different sections. You have the left header, the center header, and the right header. Step 3 on your book, they want you to click on the left header text box. That's what they represent to. So you're there, and they want you to type in the word label, in this case, reason to go. If you make a misspelling, proofing mistakes, it's not like in Microsoft Word that it's going to highlight it in red and green. Later on, I'll show you how to do a proofread just to make sure you did it right. And then from there, we could either press enter or just click outside of it. You see, when it's a label, that's cool. But when it's a formula, get to the habit of pressing enter. And then now in the center, they want you to type in the label project leader payroll calculator. Press enter if you want to click out of it, however you have to do it. And then they also want on the right side, so click on the right box. They want you to type in week 35. Oops, too fast. So once you complete, remember you could click outside of it, etc., and they accept those changes. On step 4, they want you to select the range A1 to G2. Why? Because what would be the use of having reason to go? We have it in the header. What would be the reason of having project leader if we already have it here? Payroll calculator, it's also in the label, in the title. Week 35, it's also there. So we could select A1 to G2 and really fast, not backspace, delete. Boom, all of that got deleted, disappears, you don't have it anymore. That's it. That's the beauty of it. What's also the beauty of having a header? That if you were to click on another page, you see your header really fast appears. In another page, they appear. It's not like we have to type it over and over versus the way it was. We did have to type it over in every page we had to. But now because we activate in the header, it will always be available as many pages you're going to use in this Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. Okay. Step 5, click the View tab if necessary, in case we got out of it. And then in the View tab, they want you to click the ruler checkbox. That's what they mean, so it's right there. So if we click on it, you deactivate the ruler. If you click on the grid lines, you deactivate it and it just looks like a regular Word document page created through there. That's all it's doing, just showing you how it looks. On step 6, click on the page break preview button. So we click on the one next to it on the View tab. This also is a nice view. It's giving you an idea of whatever you start typing, what's going to get printed. So if I was to click somewhere else, I just click the random cell and start typing something. You notice that that blue border outline grabs that cell as well because it's going to try to make sure that cell is also part of the group that gets printed. But it wasn't. I just got off topic, but it's just showing you what that view is giving you or showing you. All right. So in step 7, they want you to drag the pointer, the blue border, to cover all the way to row 20. So you see I hover above, below it, and I just grab it and just get into row 20. So now you're making your own weird setting of the page break preview. So if I was to write something outside of it, it's not going to get printed because you did your own weird changes. Honestly, don't do this, guys, on your real life. It's not that common to do this because later on, other stuff you do start writing won't get printed. Cool? But right now, we're just following the book, so we're following the instructions. All right, step 8, click the page layout button. So we're back to the page layout button. Click the ruler checkbox, then click on the grid lines in case it wasn't there, so maybe they want to activate it again. So back to normal. Save your work just in case something happens. So if you notice, a light gray box around the setting of the information we have should be available. You're doing a set print area. That's all you did, guys. So if I was to write something outside of that border, out of that section, it won't get printed, just like I was showing you right now. Turn the page. Step 1 on Excel 16. Sorry. they want you to click on A20. You see, we're still inside of the margin, so whatever we write in there will get printed. They want you to type in your name. In this case, I'm just going to put Abraham Cuello, Mr. C, however you want to call me, guys. On step 2, click the page layout tab. So it's not the page layout button, it's a page layout tab. So remember, part of the ribbon. So in the page layout tab, now we're going to change the orientation. On step 3, click the orientation button to landscape. So at the moment, you notice how my cell was still activated, like writing my name. You will notice that bunch of the tabs and commands won't let you, they're not activated. You can't do anything. So until you press enter, check mark, get out of it, you notice that those commands will be then get activated, right? All right, so now you're in there. If I could go to the orientation, I could click landscape. So instead of 8.5 by 11 inches, now you have 11 inches by 8.5. That's all it did. And you could switch it back and forth. And that's basically it, guys, for this file. Just showing how you could change it back and forth, how you could preview it. If we were to go to File, Print, even though we're not printing, it will just show you how that file will look. Cool? And that's basically how you do this file. It'll be ready, has your name, follow along. And even though the book didn't mention it, but get to the habit of going to the Review tab, and there you have the ABC spelling and grammar check. Once you click on it, follow it through, and if it's a last name or proper name, well, you know it's spelled correctly, ignore it. But other than that, add it or change it and make corrections, because it's not gonna show you like in PowerPoint and Word the wavy lines that something has a mistake. Cool. All right, guys. So any other questions? I would strongly recommend that you use a desktop or laptop. If you don't have one, the campus is open. You go to the library, etc., and use the ones they have in there. Why? Because the features would has the right features, the right buttons versus the Office 365. Many times when you use it on your tablet, many commands won't be there. But you should have enough to be able to do these lessons. Cool? Send me an email or do an instant message in case you have any issues or concerns, guys. Now, once you save it, how are you going to upload it? So now you finish, you could close it. So here, well, at the moment it's closed, but it will be open where you're going to have a section that's going to have upload sections, upload files, upload section of week 1's files. So once you're going to click on it, right now I'm the instructor, so I don't have the same view as you guys will. But once you click on it, you're going to have a button where it says Add Submission. You're going to click on that Add Submission. Imagine that would be it. And then all of this section will become into a big rectangle. So a quick way is you could grab the screen from the top section and just move it a little bit to the side. And then you just grab your file. Remember I told you to save it on the desktop? That's why, because you could just grab it, and place it in there. Boom. And that's a quick way to add that file and be able to upload it. And then right here, you would just click Add Submission. And that's it. You see, guys, this class will be really simple, but not just for a grade. Use it to really learn how to use Microsoft Excel. Cool, guys? All right, so I'll post another video in a little bit showing you the cool other features that you could do. This one was so you guys will be able to do the files and work on your books. All right, guys, well, take care and hope to see you soon. Goodbye, guys.